Hi, welcome back to another Crypto Day video. So it's the 20th of April, Friday today, and it's another weekly Crypto Roundup video. So let's start before we jump into the stories by having a quick glance at the markets, and it's been a really good week this week. So you can see here, market cap is currently 368 billion. I believe last week it was about 330 billion when I did the video. So, you know, up 35 or 38 billion on over the last week. So it's been a really good week, and it's been good really across the board. If we take a look here, Bitcoin dominance is falling. That's down to 38.6. So that was well over 40% last week. But we can see here that, you know, Bitcoin has made some decent gains in the last week, but it's really the altcoins that are driving up this trend at the moment. So Bitcoin is currently $8,371. It's been sort of between sort of 8,000 and 8,400 over the last few days, really, and it's struggling to kind of break maybe above this. But what we've seen is that, you know, the main altcoins have sort of decoupled a little bit from Bitcoin, and they are starting to kind of rally. So taking a quick glance down, Ripple's had, you know, a fantastic kind of week, but across the board, really, Ethereum's done very well. Bitcoin Cash has had a very good week. EOS over the entire week, maybe not quite as good as kind of some of them, because it had already had like a really good rally. But, you know, throughout the kind of top 20 or so, you know, everything's looking really positive. And we are starting to see this this trend, which you always see when, you know, Bitcoin goes down, the altcoins go down by a greater percent than Bitcoin. But when Bitcoin starts to go up, the altcoins go up by a greater amount as well. So we will have to kind of keep an eye on the next kind of week or so, what happens to kind of Bitcoin, whether it can break up to that kind of 9,000-10,000 mark. But, you know, the altcoins are rallying quite strongly. There seems to be quite a lot of orders in the market, so it seems, you know, quite a lot of bullish sentiments since the last kind of week and a half, I think. So, you know, fingers crossed, things are looking good at the moment. But let's not dwell on the markets too much. Let's jump over to the first story, and this is Blockchain Expo. So yesterday I went to Blockchain Expo London, had a wander around the show. It's quite a big show, a lot bigger than Coinbase, where I went a couple of weeks ago. They had lots of speakers, and there's a big exhibition centre. I just did the free pass, so I just wandered around the exhibition. I listened to a few talks, but mainly speaking to people on the kind of stalls. And the two that I spoke most time, I think, speaking to were the guys from Decred. So Noah, who's a community manager there, for quite a while, chatting to him. Now I'm hoping to do a video with him in the next kind of couple of weeks. But it's a really interesting kind of project that kind of ties in quite nicely with my kind of staking stuff this year. So it's one that I will probably start taking a closer look at in the next few weeks. I'll do a detailed video on that. And the other company I spent quite a while talking to was Blocknet. So they market themselves as the Internet of Blockchains. Well, what's really interesting, they're building this decentralized exchange called BlockDX, and it basically uses atomic swaps. So it's wallet to wallet. You always hold your coins in your own kind of wallet, and you do wallet to wallet kind of transfers. But they're trying to kind of build a sort of interface that feels very much like a traditional exchange, while still giving those you know, benefits of a decentralized exchange. So it's a really kind of interesting project. You can download their wallet. They have their own blockchain and token called Block. But you can download BlockDX. I will do maybe a detailed video on this in the next few weeks. But it's a really nice kind of idea. So it uses atomic swaps. This is the different currencies they have at the moment. So you can see there's a lot of big ones there. Bitcoin, Litecoin. You've got kind of Dash, Pivx, Library, Digibyte. Various others, monetary unit, that is, spoke to them at CoinFest. But it's a really nice kind of project, and if they can get kind of more coins onto it, then, you know, using atomic swaps and being able to kind of hold your own coins and rather than leaving them on exchange is a real positive thing. Anyway, they were the big takeaways from blockchain. It was a really good expo. So you know, if you get a chance to go to one of them, I know they have them around the world, you know, I'd recommend it. I think it was a pretty decent kind of show. So let's run over to our next story, which is the Samsung ASIC chips. Now, this has long been kind of rumoured, but they earlier this week they announced that they would be going into, or have gone into, the Heilong Mining Dragonmint T1. It's a 10 nanometer chip, so that compares to Bitmain's, I think they're 16 nanometers, so it should be more efficient. Now, looking at the predicted kind of rates and the rates that people have seen, 16 terahash. I forget the exact power wattage, but it seemed fractionally more energy efficient than kind of Bitmain's, but not dramatically so, considering they've gone from 16 to 10 nanometer kind of chip technology. Now, obviously, this is the first iteration of the chips. What we've seen with Bitmain is that their Antminer S9 rather has gone from sort of around 12 terahashes up to sort of 14 and a half terahashes on basically exactly the same hardware, as they've kind of tweaked it for more performance. So hopefully that is something we'll start to see from Halong as well. Now, I know that the company as a whole, a lot of people thought it was a kind of scam. A lot of people have been pretty negative about it, but I think any kind of product that comes out that is disrupting Bitmain's dominance within ASICs has got to be a good thing. But a lot of people don't like ASICs. They think it decentralizes stuff. But if you did have a number of different providers, not just of the actual kind of miners, but also of the chips as well, then that would decentralize at least some of the kind of supply chain of ASIC kind of mining equipment. So I think potentially it's a good thing. So it'll be interesting to see how these miners from Halong, or Halong, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, perform over the next few months when we start getting a bit more information. But let's jump over to the next story. And this is one that everybody, I think, has probably heard of this week. This is the big announcement from Verge that their, groundbreaking, first time kind of ever, kind of like will change crypto forever announcement is that you can buy a premium subscription on Pornhub with Verge. Now, I thought the internet had made paying for porn largely irrelevant, but obviously I'm wrong. I won't obviously go to the Pornhub site here. You might be at work, or might be kind of kids around or something like that. It's an interesting kind of collaboration. I don't think it's anything more than that. Those people who tried to step through the process said it was incredibly clunky. It goes through kind of third parties where you have to kind of supply emails and stuff like that, which rather kind of defeats some of the anonymous kind of talk that they were sort of like kind of really promoting. But there was a really kind of cringe-worthy YouTube ad about like this kid and his grandfather, which was quite surreal, really. But anyway, that's the massive announcement. God knows how much they paid Pornhub. I'm predicting nothing near what they kind of collected from their community as funds, and they've done, they've taken a big chunk of that itself. As of today, there's people saying that the big kind of announcement and the Pornhub Verge kind of like headers, co-branded stuff has disappeared off the site now. I'm not sure if that's true or not, and whether it will kind of come back. But anyway, that was the huge announcement. I don't think it's really that huge an announcement. I think anything that kind of drives adoption of cryptocurrency is a really good thing, but limiting themselves to kind of Verge, obviously for some kind of payoff from the Verge founders, seems a little bit short-sighted from Pornhub's point of view. And from what people have been kind of talking about, it's a fairly clunky and quite a kind of tricky kind of setup to kind of jump through. So I don't think that many people will actually be kind of doing this. We'll have to see over the next kind of few weeks, but it's certainly not the groundbreaking announcement that many people were expecting. Anyway, let's jump over to the next story, and I've got a couple of stories on exchanges. The first one is Coinbase. So they basically acquired Earn.com this week, and they've hired the Earn.com CEO as their chief technical officer, their CTO. Now, Earn.com, for those of you who don't know anything about it, it was, I think it started as 21.co, and it was basically a sort of paid email kind of platform where you could receive kind of paid emails and be paid and be recompensed in cryptocurrency, in Bitcoin in this case. And I think that's been expanded out to other things. So if you reply to emails, there's probably surveys and stuff like that. I don't know a huge amount about Earn.com, but the stories that I've kind of read suggest that the acquisition was upwards of $100 million, so it doesn't seem particularly good value for Coinbase. But on the other hand, Coinbase can, bring their kind of like, their big user base into kind of Earn.com. They might be able to do something with it. It seems, I think they've overpaid, but they do have a huge amount of money burning a hole in their pocket. Obviously, at the moment, Coinbase are making a huge amount from their kind of exchange. Anyway, the last story I want to talk about this week is Binance, and this was really interesting. So I saw this yesterday, and I thought this was fantastic news. So Binance have announced Fiat-to-Crypto trading pairs, but in some ways it's a bit of a non-story. And you see this a lot kind of in crypto. Somebody kind of puts something up, India's banning crypto, the EU, are accepting kind of Bitcoin, Visa, are happy to provide crypto cards, all these kind of things, and then you actually read into the story and it's nothing like what the headline suggests. And I think this is in some ways down the same line. So they haven't announced any trading pairs, fiat trading pairs. What they've announced is that they are talking to banks in Malta, where the exchange will be moving to. They're moving from China to kind of Malta due to regulations. And Malta's very kind of crypto kind of friendly, so no doubt they will be able to do something with one of the banks there. But this story, the reason I say it's a bit of a non-story is that they are having preliminary talks with banks with the hope that a bank will allow them to do fiat withdrawals and deposits in the future. And if that does happen, then it will mean hopefully that getting away from having to buy Bitcoin in order to get into any kind of altcoin. So those of you who are in kind of Europe, I'm sure it's similar in the kind of US, if you use Coinbase, you can buy a very small number of coins. You can buy Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash. But anything else you have to kind of buy in those kind of currencies and then transfer to an exchange and do the exchange. So if you want to say buy a Navcoin, for example, being able to kind of go to Binance and just put in £1,000, however it's done, via credit card or via bank transfer or whatever, and actually buy the coin you want directly without having to buy Bitcoin, then pay the kind of fees to transfer it, then pay commission on exchanging Bitcoin to Nav, is a really good thing. And I think it will start to kind of split this kind of like real kind of sort of dovetailing really of altcoins into kind of Bitcoin. So they are so paired at the moment, and if you can buy into other coins separately from kind of Bitcoin, I still expect Bitcoin to probably be the largest coin. Maybe I think Ethereum at some point will overtake it, but once you kind of split away from having to buy Bitcoin or another Bitcoin in order to get into kind of smaller altcoins, I think we will then see a separation between kind of Bitcoin and various different altcoins. And then we're not going to hopefully see this kind of situation where Bitcoin goes down a bit, all the altcoins drop. Bitcoin goes up a bit, all the altcoins rise. So in the long term, I think this could be really positive. But in the short term, it's pretty much a non-story. They haven't announced different trading pairs. They've announced that they'd like to do it in the future, along with obviously their decentralized exchange, which will be fantastic as well. So anyway, that's it for the stories this week. Let's jump over to the giveaway. So if you followed last week's video, you'll know that I'm doing a Bean Cash giveaway. That's Bitbean, what was formerly called. This is last week's URL to the YouTube video. There were 22 unique commenters, so let's click start, and good luck to everybody. Okay, so the winner is Yasini Imurul. I apologize if I've got your name wrong. I'm sure I have mispronounced that, but says, thanks Dave for the amazing video and congrats to the winner. Well, you are the winner, so congratulations to you. So I will copy that address, and I'm just going to pause the video very briefly, and I'll just jump onto my desktop to make that payment. Okay, so before we jump over to the wallet, let's just get the amount of Bean Cash price. So it's $10 divided by just over 1 cent at the moment, which is 912 Bean Cash. So let's jump over to the desktop and we will send that over. Actually, just double check I've got the right address. So copy that. And then let's send these over. So pay the address. And that was 912 Bean Cash. So I'm just going to send those now. So that has gone. So congratulations again to Yasini Imurul. Again, apologies for the pronunciation, but congratulations for winning this week's giveaway. So next week we're going to be doing another giveaway for Zencash. So the website is zencash.com. Go and check it out if you want. It was originally a fork from Z Classic, which was itself forked from Zcash. It's a coin that I've been mining on my NVIDIA rigs for the last few months. It's a really good coin. I really like it. I think it's got good long-term potential. But anyway, next week it will be a Zencash giveaway. So like the video, leave a comment below and put your Zencash address, and you might win $10 worth of Zencash on next week's video. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great weekend, and hopefully I will see you on the next video. Have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.